Oh shit! It's live. Yes, it is. Okay. Sorry, I was caught off guard there. I realized the countdown began, and I thought I had 5 minutes or something, but I didn't. So, welcome, chickens. Yes, to a promotional live stream about the Aegeon audiobook, first one for Aegeon, and it's like an old-timey radio play. Lots of dramatic organs and synths and noises and sound effects, and it's pretty good, I believe. It's not like your average audiobook. It took us a lot of effort to get it through the what do you call it? The audible the checkpoints of it's quality control, but we had issues. There's nothing wrong with our quality. We actually, at one point, we definitely had a kind of an SJW type person. Pardon my boomer terminology. Interfere, because the cover of it is obviously got a person of a World War II German identity going through a castle, and there's nothing political about it. It just happens to take place in that. But of course, in this day and age, just to have that kind of imagery, you get hassles. Definitely, we had someone who was hassling us over that. He was like, "Got to remove this, got to remove that," because we were hoping to have it out for Halloween, but we got this hassle. But then it seemed like maybe it wasn't even going to happen at all. But then we just resubmitted it. I thought, well, my guess was that we just have one of these people. So we resubmitted it, and it went straight through. And yes, I was right. Some random lesbian or God knows what just sort of got in our way. Anybody familiar with social media these days knows this is how it works. Just some random fucking jagoff completely delays and almost makes you lose hope and give up on the whole thing over nothing. And it's not even just for having imagery. I don't even know how people who do books on any topic around World War II these days and have any of the associated imagery cannot get anything published at all. It's become one of these things that's forbidden to even think about or conceive, and freaks them out in their mind so badly. Anyways, that's the hassles we had, and that's why it's late. But my partner here, who's coming on, he's a bit late. I told him to organize a few clips just to play them so we can listen to them so you get the idea. And so he's just going to be 5 minutes late organizing that. And he's going by the name of Wayne something or other. I can't remember what it is now. Yeah, it'll become clear when he comes back on. Just say it wasn't the name he was using yesterday. But, what can I say? So, yeah, it is a good little audiobook for anybody that likes audiobooks. And I'm actually very excited to do the rest of the Aegeon series like this with that old-timey dramatic organ. Noises and sound effects. It's pretty cool. It's very cool. And it took a while to do. I can tell you that. He thought he was just going to record the narration and it was all over. And I was like, no, we can't just do that. Actually, the next one that might come out is The Dream God, my novella, my first little novel. And supposedly Seymour is narrating that, but he's kind of, I don't know, taking his sweet, sweet time. So perhaps Wayne, what's his face, will do it. What the hell is his name? What is the name he's going by all of a sudden? It sounds like I'm making fun of him, but Wayne Seymour. I mean, hell, maybe it's his real name. Mr. Wayne Seymour, who I've been working closely with for weeks, months, I guess. Yeah, because the bulk of his narration was done quite a while ago, actually. And then I said, oh no, we got to add sound effects. And now I had to do most of the sound effects. And as it happens, I'd been involved in that because I've also been doing the music for the video game, the side-scroller video game that's coming out when Michael Gallo finishes the work on that. And it's probably going to be several months. He's got a preview of it on Steam. I've posted about it before, but I had to do the music for that. And that was a lot of fun. And that was real music, chickens. That wasn't messing around. That was drums and guitar, and took a lot of effort. I'm actually going to post some of those songs on their own as well. Here we got some questions. Hey guys, wasn't Halloween 3 weeks ago? Yeah, it is. Sorry, John Goris, but as I said, we got scuppered by Audacity themselves, by a person. Just randomly, I don't know. It didn't even make any sense. They were like, What was the initial thing? They were like, okay, your listed authors do not match the actual authors in the recorded audio. And I was like, I had tried to explain to them Amazon, so it had to match the metadata of the print book on Amazon, but Amazon only lets you. Oh, here's Wayne. Only lets you add 9 authors, and we have more than nine books, and there was no way around this. No matter who I talked to or help I sought out, nobody could solve this issue. Am I freezing up? Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. 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 Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Why can you not hear me? He could hear me before. Okay, chat, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can anybody hear me? Am I a lone voice in the void? Hello? Hang on, I'm going to call him on the Zoom. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can't hear me. Okay, good.
Sorry,
can you hear me right now,
right? A
right?
little bit delayed there, Brendan.
Okay, hold on. My video. I think I turned off my video. I'll turn it on again, and hopefully there's no problems. It kind of froze up there. Okay, we can hear you, but you're frozen. So it's only the video. That's all right. You know why it's freezing up? Fucking sons of bitches. My sons were desperate to play old school StarCraft 2 on this machine, and I told them not to. And they installed fucking BattleNet. And whenever it's on here, it like tries to run itself in the background and fucks up. This is the laptop I use for streaming. Little sons of bitches. They screwed me up. And I can't uninstall it. I tried to install it before we started, but I ran out of time. It just keeps saying it's running. Anyways, fuck this. I can't. I'll turn off my camera whenever that happens. Yeah, so someone said, wasn't Halloween 3 weeks ago? So Wayne, or Retro Futureland, you're as now. Well, that's your YouTube account, right?
Yep.
Or do you want to introduce yourself? Say something about yourself. I've been chin wagging for a while here. But I was just saying about how we were trying to get out in time for Halloween. We got scuppered by various factors.
Oh yeah, lots of delays. Okay, I'm Wayne Seymour. I narrated and character voiced the content, most of the content for this audiobook, and I've just been on YouTube mostly uploading outdoors videos, gear reviews, travel vlogs before I got into story writing and creative content like this. And I'm a jack of all trades kind of guy, and I've been wanting to do audiobooks of the Aegeon for a while, and the opportunity came up last year, about a year ago, I think more than a year ago. And Brendan said, "Yeah, let's do it," and that took us on to where we are now.
Yeah, that's what happened, all right. Yeah. And you've done audiobooks before, did you, or no?
Yeah, I did. I've done Biz Archives Volume 1. I did the Biz Archives Volume 1 for Dave Martell,
right,
and his crew.
I didn't even know he had. So are all the Biz Archives in audiobooks as well? I didn't know this.
Just the one. I've just managed to get one of the volumes out. That was the first one.
All right. Okay. Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to get you.
Yeah, the problem with audiobooks is it's a big time investment. It's a big commitment. So it's I'd love to do all. I think he's unofficially said I could do all the other volumes, but it'd probably take me about years to get all of them done single-handed.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How long did this one take you? Your part of it? I mean,
I think my part of it, or most of it, about 7 months, and then there was the extra bits afterwards. But that's not including all the breaks, because that's not, if you condensed it all, it'd probably be something like, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks solid work, but that, or maybe 5, 6, and then you've got all the extra audio stuff you did, and then me tweaking it and all the rest. So Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
had to
hard
do a lot of
to
tweaks. That was the other thing. That was it, right? After I did all my bits, I was like, "Oh, this is great. Sounds great." And you're like, "Oh," that, and you put it through their tester thing,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was way too loud
as
or
soon as
too.
as
What
soon
was it?
as yeah, yeah. As soon as you
What was the
said,
problem?
"Here it is," I said, "That's too loud, Brandon." He's like, "What do you mean it's too loud?" I'm like, "Brandon, you don't understand. This is an audiobook that we're making into an audio drama, and all that
Right.
extra sound effects, it just sent it through the roof. That's why it's a little bit lower than it's still loud. I mean, you can hear it, and it's there, but yeah, lots of tweaking.
Yeah. Here, why don't you play a little bit of one of the clips there, actually? So just right
Sure.
off the bat, so they know, and we can play more later. Mr. Fontaine,
Which one do you
hello.
want to choose? I've got three. I've got the Castle of Varkalak, the castle of the Varkalak of Castle Moga, Mexitrigonex, and the War Giants.
I don't know. War Giants has a lot of effects. Maybe try that for a start.
Okay.
I think the Castle Moga is the best sounding one over. We'll play that at the end, maybe.
All right. I'm gonna have to turn this up to the. I'm gonna have to turn this mother up because it's on the speakers, so it might not come through that well. Let me know.
War had been caught in a plasma web, which the Cyclops had wrapped about his ankles, tripping him to the ground in the valley's basin, where he was drowned by the flood. But Gythax and Huabathor stood firm, the water not going past their waist, and waited for it to diminish, so that it was only at their knees. They were edging ever closer to the sky tower of the Jarl, now nearly within their reach.
So that's like a short excerpt from the from the story. I didn't want to play too much because it might spoil it, but you know.
Yeah. No, that was good. You can't hear it quite just playing it over here, and that there's like drums, music in the background. You could only barely hear that, I think. But
yeah, it was coming from the speaker system.
We're only playing it. Yeah, we're playing it over this way through the stream, so maybe it doesn't sound as great.
I'll take the sponge off. It might make it clearer. But yeah.
Take the what off?
I had a dampener over the microphone for protecting the microphone from stuff that might have been muffling it a touch.
All right.
Anyway,
and so that's the idea. Here, play a bit of the Mexitrigonex.
Okay. All right.
Without let's have a listen.
Gesture with your hand. I can't hear what you say. Gesture with your hand if it's too low or too high. But here it goes.
You turn it up a bit, probably.
Destroyed, rent with massive holes.
What could cause that?
Nomi asked, watching over the cam feed. Many meteorites, Odrin lied, while giving Jaff a serious look. Suddenly, Nomi screamed over the comm channel, causing them to wince. The light had fallen upon a body. A dried-up husk of a human, his face a lipless grimace, floated in the frozen space starkly. He was wearing a spacesuit, but without a helmet, and was tied to a lifeline that was wrapped around one of the birth columns, which had kept him floating in place for an untold length of time. It's okay, Nomi. Expect a few more of those.
We can't leave them here.
Part of the salvage job will be to catalogue and record the dead. Someone else will do a burial detail when we are done.
Okay.
It sounds cruel.
Okay,
Yeah,
it sounds cruel, but that's the end
Voice
of that
actors
clip.
and everything. We have actresses.
Oh, that's
We
Ashley.
actually-
Ashley.
Yeah. And I think we had MarlaKMurder did some of the voice, man. She's actually a trained Shakespearean actress. She used to be on Baywatch. Yeah. She was on Baywatch, so we have a Baywatch actress in the.
Wow, that's something else. That is something else. Next level. Cracked it.
Yeah, next level, exactly. Mr. Monty Fontaine says it's still a really good issue. It doesn't have to be Halloween, and they say, yeah, it doesn't even over till 90% of the stuff is gone from the stores. Well, the Christmas stuff is already in the stores. We all know that. We know we're late. We missed Halloween, and that's very sad. Well, what was the first thing that we were so close? Well, it was always going to be down to the wire, and then you told me I didn't realize for audiobooks that there's a long delay period after. I thought after a week of submitting it, we'd make it in time. But already we were going to be late, and then we got the delay with the person hassling us for like ages and so whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But any time of year is good for a good ghost story. I mean, Christmas used to be a time for ghost stories, right? Christmas
Yeah.
Ghost Story. That's a classic.
Oh yeah,
right.
I think it's extra special at Christmas time in general. Anyway, it's darker, it's winter, it's colder.
Yeah. Tombs of the Blind Dead. Don't let them hear you breathe. John Gora says. What's that? Tombs of the Blind Dead. Oh, that's the movie. Tombs of the Blind Dead. Yeah, that's a great movie. He's not talking about us. I don't know what he's saying. War Giants.
I don't know that one.
Throughout the War Giants one, I know there's a rolling drum beat.
Yeah,
I put in the kind of military beat, so that's still in there. You couldn't really hear that over the clip, just over the stream or whatever. But
it is there.
It's
noticeable. Oh yeah.
There's probably
I
a
can
way
play
I can
more.
play.
I can play more of that if you wish. It might sound clearer now because I've set the speakers.
Play another clip where there's like missiles and explosions, like some of them.
All right, here we go.
Just play some random part of it. It doesn't even matter. That thing is so full. That one is so full of noise.
Here we go.
That was one of probably what's the biggest problem.
It rose out of a great pit to rise up past the clouds and past the atmosphere to an enclosed starbase at its summit. Hover tanks, the largest Gythax had ever seen, patrolled before this tower and lobbed flower bombs at them, which exploded in a paralyzing pollen. He swatted many of them away, but he took a few direct hits, and these genuinely slowed them, but did not halt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You can't hear it that well, but anyways, they get the idea. That's you get.
I have the microphone next to the speakers for that, but it's on full. But anymore, it was just distorting the speakers. So
that's no problem, man. We can't have that. There's probably a way for me to properly play audio through this thing if I was better.
Yeah, I could do it if I was streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably do it on my Streamlabs, but then but setting up for that and setting up channels, it's tricky.
StreamYard. I wonder if there's some quick way I could do it. Let's see. Settings. Present. What does present do? Jesus, I don't know.
You want me to email you an MP3 file and you could try and
that would be handy. Email it to my to my Gmail, and let me just see if I
Right,
this is more giants. Anything that's heavy on the sound effects. It doesn't matter.
Okay, right, let's do that.
They're all pretty good.
MP3.
Mr. Fontaine says, I have Halloween issue 2, and issue 9 are my favorites. Everyone loves issue 2. So, Mr. Fontaine, let me ask you, why is issue 2 by far the most popular? I don't know why. I've never been able to figure this out. Is it cover? The stories? And issue 9, we just did issue 10, which was larger than usual. Issue 9, what was issue 9? Oh, issue 9 had the sexy girl with the bright neon colors on the cover, yeah. Yeah, tell me why issue 2 is so popular, because I don't know. It's by far the most popular one. I would love to know.
I thought it was 3 that was the popular one with the two gals and the guy on it smoking the tobacco.
Yeah, that's popular. But no, number 2 has always been the most popular. With the sort of psychedelic cover like this, the astronauts land on a planet. There's a giant head and like red sky.
Okay, that's going through the chute. If you check your messages, you'll get that MP3, Brendan.
Okay, so yeah, someone explain that to me. It must be the stories, I guess. But I mean, all of them are just like a mix of whatever stories are going on at the time. You know, there's going to be some you like better than others, but issue 2 is definitely very popular. Yeah, here, let me get that then. Nothing came through yet. But then I'm just going to do the same as you and put my mic.
Yeah, maybe your mic might come through with it better.
You're a Mick.
You're Mickey.
Get going, you stupid Mick. There must be a way in StreamYard to play audio like directly from an MP3, and when it would sound just perfect. But shit, or maybe there's not. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody know?
I used to stream MP3 on YouTube years ago, but that was using Streamlabs.
I could actually just play it off my phone. You sent me. What did you send me? Is that what you sent me? An MP3?
I sent you Varkalak. I sent you Mexitrigonax, and I sent you War Giants, and it's like a minute.
Okay, can you hear this? How does that sound?
Klaxons sounded louder.
Sound
They
good?
passed the power station door and saw it
What?
was clear.
It sounds better than mine, I think.
Here, tell me if this sounds good or not.
Mueller withdrew his Luger as he advanced guards.
Sounds close.
They
Pretty good.
turned a corner and the gunfire was very loud as they emerged overlooking the dining hall. Here was a scene of disarray. The long tables had been overturned and his men were using them as cover, exchanging fire with two gypsy-looking Romanians in fur hats who were shooting.
So there you go. I hope that sounded okay. Like that's, you see, there's lots of action. It's all very kinetic and happening. So, because I remember when I was young, I'm so fucking old, but no, these were actually past my time. It was a novelty even in my time, but I remember there being radio horror shows you could listen to and get. I'm sure there still are. I'm sure it's still a novelty thing you can find and get. And it's something I always wanted to do. And actually, since we've done this, I was talking with actually the girls there if they wanted to do a specific radio drama horror thing. It's like this just for YouTube, just like a little brief thing, and just experiment with it so they can do a bit of acting, and you can. It's a good little format and medium. I like it.
It's a lot. It's very immersive. I like it. It's very immersive. It's better. An audiobook is normally just the narration and characterization, but when you go to this level, it's a lot more immersive. People love it. People love it. You don't get it on Amazon that much. Most of the stuff on Amazon is audiobooks, and audiobooks, but audio dramas, not so many of those.
Well, I can see why with the gauntlet of problems they threw at us for trying to do it, but we got through it. I mean, it is possible, and it really adds a whole extra layer. Anybody I've shown, like sent them to, is just like, oh, this is great. I love it. Yeah.
I mean, I was listening to the Mexa Trigger Next earlier, and I was immersed, and I'm the person that did it, and I was thinking, I know, I'm not joking. Do you know? It reminds me a bit of the movie Life Force. I get that similar vibe to Life Force in it. I don't know if you were maybe unconsciously tapping into that when you did it, but
I didn't. These things happen in a roundabout way. Probably in my subconscious, that movie is there. I do love that movie, but it was actually originally from I think it was a Silly Remick. You know, I do his little blurbs of him speaking, and whatever. And he in one of the books said something about, there's in far out systems, there's ancient vampires from Earth that are still, sleeping in their ships in orbit around this and that planet. And I'd sort of set in my mind. And when I was doing the Halloween issue, I thought, okay, I have to make some kind of Halloween story out of this. So, but yeah, it's similar to Life Force, all right, in certain ways. Yeah, just being a space vampire. I mean, they cornered the market on that the moment they had the concept, but.
Yeah, and Varkalak. I don't know if the Keep came into that, but I got serious the Keep vibes from that.
Yeah, you always said that
story. It's because it's a vampire, in also a vampire, which is sort of what in the movie is kind of like a vampire. That Molazar golem demon thing is sort of sucking the life force out from his enemies, and he's sort of getting stronger as he does so. You see, so. That reminded me of the Keep. That especially that's not fighting and stuff. Weird.
You know what really inspired me though. It's not even a horror movie. What's fucking is it Fall of Eagles? What's the Clint Eastwood movie, Richard Burton movie?
Oh, Where Eagles Dare.
Where Eagles Dare.
Yeah,
because that's what I had in mind was like the Vermont has captured this Gothic castle and it's all gloomy and cold and cool, like really like a fortress. It's also got like mechanized parts.
Yeah.
And just, I was thinking of that really. I can't say I was thinking of the Keep at all. No, it wasn't in my head. Even though the Keep is a great film. I really haven't seen that since I was a kid. Like, who is that again? That's the
Man
Tangerine Dream.
Yeah, Man did it. I think he had Gabrielle Byrne was in it. McKellen was in it. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, honestly, I didn't have that in mind. I was thinking of Fall of Eagles, the castle. I don't know. I just wanted this castle setting of that era.
My brother actually went there. He actually visited there. I think, years and years ago, he actually visited that because they got the cable car thing that goes into it. Or he did, and he actually went there. I think it was with a school trip, or maybe it was on venture training with the army. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Do you know where it is? I don't even know what.
I believe it's in Bavaria. I believe it's in like right on the edge of near Switzerland, probably Swiss border area, Bavaria. Maybe the Harz Mountains, maybe.
Cool. That's cool.
Could be Austria.
Something I'd like to do. I would do that too. Yeah. Stephen Mitchell says the Halloween Special was the first book in the series I purchased. I thought it was fantastic. So much now, so that I've got all the others. Keep up the great work. A breath of fresh air. Well, thank you, Stephen. Yes, I was hoping to create a breath of fresh air. What's your favorite in the series? Let me see if anybody else is explaining to me why issue 2 is so good.
Oh, I mean, if you ask me which one my favorite was, well, I got a lot, but I like the series. The ongoing series you've got in them are good. I mean, you got Ferrand PI, which isn't really the horror type, but that's a good sci-fi noir, I guess. And yeah, Atlantic.
The whole point of that originally was to just make commentary on a sort of near future where some of the more ridiculous things that was going on had become even more ridiculous with the AI and the vaccines and things and like everything, all that shit. That was the original point. But now it's developed to where I have to create an actual story around it.
Bit like Rick Deckard in a way, crossed with maybe that Humphrey Bogart or something, sort of.
Yeah, well, that's a classic sci-fi trope. Yeah, these kind of the private dick who's in the future. I think ever since that story by Dan O'Bannon, right? What was it called? That Mobius drew, the one the story that inspired Blade Runner, basically.
Is it? It's the it's not the Meta Barons. It's before that one. No, it's before the Meta Barons, isn't it? Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so Mr. Fontaine says, I think the stories in issue 2 just seem to meld with one another in a particularly agreeable way. I must look at it then and see what I did and see if I can do it again.
It's funny because for me, the book cover doesn't really draw me that much. It doesn't really suck me in like the other book covers do. It's almost, I don't know, abstract. I mean, I've actually got it in front of me here. Yeah.
As he says, I think 9 actually edges it out, he says. I haven't had much feedback on 9. And I liked 9. I like them all. I mean, I have liked them all.
9's got a very different style.
You think so?
Yeah, it didn't slant on the cover style anyway.
Oh, and the cover style, yeah. I mean, internally though, would you say they're all cohesive?
I'd say, going off memory, I'd say in general, I wouldn't say the content's really diverged much, to be honest. So I wouldn't say in that respect. No, it's got a good mix of different short story contents, I guess.
Yeah, the whole idea is you can open it and find just about anything. Like, obviously, you're going to have your stories from me, and there'll probably be a certain similarity in those. But I always try to come up with new stuff.
You've got
sorry,
your stuff is like analogous. There's a good cross section of analogous. It's like quite, it's not completely different, but it's not like absolutely the same either.
Yeah. AJ Bell says, based on the book by the great Colin Wilson. Good, yes, Colin Wilson was great. So what was based on that?
The Keep. I think Colin Wilson did the Adversary Cycle series for the Keep, because there's a series of the books that he did, and then he went into Repairman Jack, which I haven't read, but I've read of it, and that's like its own thing.
Mr. Monty Fontaine says issue 11 will be the best though, as my story is being published in it. Okay, so which one are you in the? I mean, maybe you don't want to say on here. Well, see, there's a few new ones that are going to get published in that. It's a bit delayed, issue 11. I should have been working on it already. I'd actually initially hoped maybe to have a Christmas one, but it won't. I know this last couple have been delayed, but now I've got right now I'm obsessed with the project of a comic.
What's this comic? This style? I'm very interested in what style you're going to go for on this, man.
Oh, it's different styles because different artists. I've hired different artists, and my own art will be in there as well, and they're excellent artists. They're all very good and unique and good. Maybe I should promo it with just their work. I will do that soon, but I just had the idea of thinking of, again, Aegeon itself is an homage to these same books and magazines that were around in my youth that kind of just vanished, that are essential to I think male readers who aren't idiots.
Yeah,
it's kind of imaginative, fun stuff. And a big part of it was the shock value of often just shocking amounts of violence and sex, to be honest, right? And I'm not in any way opposed to that kind of thing. So I just floated the idea. I've been thinking for a while, how about a comic which is really rampant?
Yeah, the thing is, Brandon, back in those days, you had that more. Well, films are more for adults back in those days. The creative medium was more adult orientated before it went first entertainment, which is kind of okay in this, with Star Wars, you had the entertainment aspect coming, and then it just got more and more lower common denominator and all that nonsense sort of came along,
Yeah. No, that's for sure. And just I think even, I don't know, there was just several things in terms of film. Several things happened. But in terms of this, all this rich media of this magazines and fiction and comic, I mean, it's still there. There's still underground ones that are very, very good. You can still get actually, but it was just more common. So, but one of the things was you would just come across some shocking stuff, almost too much sometimes. So I'm not going to go into the realm of some of the stuff, but like certainly a little bit of inspiration from Manera and people like this, and Serpieri, and this kind of like ribald erotic art. Coupled with intense gore.
Yeah.
And so this is my whole premise, was to make a comic just with shocking amounts of both, really. And so I've written some nice little stories, and they're all going to be drawn by these different artists. And that's, I mean, it sounds juvenile and silly that's the underlying running theme, but it is in a kind of Aegeon fantastical story way. It's not science fiction. Or any of
there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of appeal for that, even in the Zoomer generation, which are kind of either completely off the rails or completely ultra conservative. So I think you could tap into that.
As soon as I floated the idea, I didn't know. I was just saying I'm thinking of doing this. Like, huge positive response, and in fact, a person you might recognize from Telegram, a very generous person who happens to live in my country. And has been a friend online for a long time. Stepped forward and said, "I will fund this. I want to see this." So he's giving me money to it. So that's
what you need, Brendan. I mean, patrons are so desperately needed across any dissident right-wing sphere, any right-wing sphere, conservative spheres, whatever. And we don't really have that compared to the left side. And if you were to turn around, or someone to turn around and say, right, okay, Retro, here's a minimum wage job for you to just produce all of Aegeon and Biz Archives, I'd take it. I'd snap the hands off just for minimum wage week, doing it. I'd do it. But, we don't really have that. It's all, it's all mostly out of our reach and breadth, so to speak.
Yeah. So if you want to support this audiobook, I just say it right now, since this is that your only means of getting any money out of it, or me, is that they pay for it and buy it. So the link's in the description if you want to support that and support all the Aegeon books being made into these kind of.
I am more than happy to work with you again on one of these, Brendan. I know you've sort of said, well, it depends on how it goes, what happens with the response, but I'm more of a starving artist kind of guy for this sort of thing than bottom line in the black about it, but whatever,
No, for sure. We will. Like I'm sure we will be doing it. I mean, but like it certainly would help if people would actually buy it.
Yeah,
I know the audiobook I did for Decline and Fall of Western Art, which is Sangmore narrated that, and this got no special effects or music. It's just a straightforward nonfiction book. And I think it does all okay. I sort of not sure. I could probably do more to promote it. I didn't try to get reviews of it or anything. I would like to try to get some reviews of this. That's what you were saying earlier with the promo codes that we have. We got these promo codes. So if anybody sees this, or anybody knows anybody who might want to review what we've done, who has something of an audience or a platform, let me know. And I'll send whoever it is a promo code and they can listen to it for free, just for that purpose.
I'm not entirely sure on the Audible side of things, but I think you do need to sign up to Audible, or you can buy the book off Audible and listen without joining Audible. I think those are the two options for people who want to listen to this, completely for the Aegeon 8 audiobook. So that's literally what we've got with the marketplace right now for it.
Yeah. John Gorva says, I want to see Alex Cox's film adaptation of Harry Harrison's Bill the Galactic Hero. Fully prepped to be disappointed. Is this something that's being made? Do you know about this?
No.
I don't know the book. I don't know Alex Cox. So I don't know what to say about that. But, Harry Harrison's Bill the Galactic Hero. I don't know. That sounds good. I'd like to see more people.
Is this on the live chat you're seeing this? I'm just wondering.
Yeah. One of the last two there, John Goras.
Oh, right.
Maybe you can clear that up for us, what you're saying, because that sounds, I don't know. But yeah, if it's just if it's a total Hollywood production, it will suck. Oh Jesus, I don't know if you saw. So I made a post making fun of this Wicked movie, because I actually had to go with my daughters to see Paddington 3, and I mean that was all right. I could survive it, but I had to sit through these previews and I saw this wicked thing, and I was just like, oh, like I was ready to kill myself. I was reaching for the razor to slit my wrist, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just could not believe it. So shocked. And so I made some outrage post saying, you know, I'd rather die than watch this or something. Like, you know, some exaggerated, obvious joke thing, just saying, you know, this sucks. But, you know, on all the platforms, that's fine. But when I post on Facebook, I get this raging response of thousands of cat ladies like, why don't you kill yourself? Like,
oh, wow. I'm glad I don't go on Facebook now. It's been a long time since I've...
Oh, shit. So when you go to those places, that's when you get the real normie response, or like the old ladies or whatever. And like, they just they're out for blood. Something that has no consequence, barely, you know, everyone just laughs or thinks nothing of on other platforms. And you casually post it on Facebook and then they're out for your blood. So I just made a bit of a scathing review of a movie I haven't even seen that looks shit. Part of it is that I had a picture of the woman in the wheelchair on the cover, which is in like a steampunk wheelchair woman in an Oz movie. So, you know, so for someone like us, we don't mean to be mean to the disabled. We don't hate people who are handicapped. It's just like, you know, you're being propagandized with this kind of obvious steampunk wheelchair woman in this movie. It's just like, you know, anyway, but so to a liberal cat lady on Facebook, that means you hate the disabled and she wants you and your family dead right there, pronto. Like, nobody will threaten your life faster than a cat lady on Facebook.
Yeah, their comprehension skills just basically crater. They're intuitively cratering.
They're so angry. They're so angry. They want you dead. They're just like raving. I can't. Like, they can't even see the humor in it. And it's such an obvious.
One person said to me, "I dare you to say that. I dare you to say that out loud in public." And I'm like, well, I probably would if I was in, like, you know, First Amendment country. I probably would, and it wasn't anything crazy or anything violent or insensitive.
Can you say it in a YouTube friendly way?
It was in a YouTube friendly way, and I was just basically stating an obvious thing that was the hard truth, but not like, you know, dripping with vitriol or anything. But because I'd won the argument, that was like their default response, like the cat lady lashing out or something like that, you know.
Yeah, Facebook. It's a world. It's a normie world. It's a normals world on Facebook. I'll tell you that. Oh, he says Alex Cox did Repo Man. Okay, well, I know I've seen
that's
Repo
an old
Man.
movie. Wow, that's an old one. 1980s.
Wasn't Alex? He's the guy who was meant to do another movie that came out not that long ago. I was reading about him. What was it? Oh, shit, I don't know. I read about him, a movie that came out that he was meant to do and got kicked out of. Shit, I don't remember what that was now. But yeah, so he's still around directing this guy. Repo Man is fine. Cult punk rock movie from the 80s, right? And it's okay.
Yeah,
it's
a good movie. Yeah, you get that some good classic actors in there. You get the kid from Young Guns that's in it. You've got the guy that's Alan Dean Stanton.
Alan Dean Stanton. Yeah, he only died, I think, like 2 years. I think he died 2 years ago or something.
Yeah. That style of actor is what Hollywood is missing. One of the styles of actor is that classic Ernest Borgnine, the Stantons, those types of journeyman center everyman vibe, you know. Without them, Hollywood's lost it completely.
Garbage. Yeah, Ernest Borgnine was in every movie made from 1969 to 1985. Every one.
You know,
I used to say, if a movie doesn't have Ernest Borgnine, I won't watch it and I won't like it.
Yeah, low key Italian American kind of guy. Not many people know he's actually Italian. I didn't know it until he died. I thought he was Italian.
Well,
yeah, part Italian, I guess, but interesting.
Oh, well, Borgnine, something like that. Some kind of
Milanese.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some kind of Mediterranean fishmonger face on him.
Well, it does explain it explains why he was in all the westerns. You know, he was in a hell of a lot of westerns. Jeez.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm not joking. When he was in and TV shows, like he was in so many.
Yeah, Airwolf, for God's sakes. You know, last thing I would have expected to see him was Airwolf. There he was,
Airwolf,
with his little tool bag running around fixing that thing.
All those type of things. And actually, it's the same is true of British actors who are actually kind of almost like even better of that era from the 70s through the 80s.
Yeah,
I actually just watched yesterday. The wife, we watched Cromwell. Of course, she was cursing all the way through because she's Irish and she hates fucking Cromwell. And I think he was a bit of a fucking
I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah, but it's a good movie with Richard Harris. They got an Irishman to play Cromwell to try and make up for it, Richard Harris. If you look at the lords and the members of Parliament, they're all comprised of these recognizable British actors from the 70s and 80s, all these like Hammer Horror and all these guys. You know all the faces and names, like from James Bond movies or whatever. All those classic guys, they're all in it, and it's just like so nice to see them. And you're just, that guy.
I'm not really a visionary kind of guy, but I am seeing, and I know you're not into this, but as much. But I think with AI, the way it's coming along, that's an inroad for guys like us to try and start something going with, the visual medium, not maybe necessarily a film or even an episodic thing, but to get a visual medium to get the readers in, So, for example, on your short stories, on a short story, you could type that in, and within the next 5 years, I'm confident you could get like a minute worth of decent promotion type stuff for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not into it though. I will never use it.
No.
Unless somehow it changes.
You've heard some of the music I've made on it. It's not bad. It's appealing to the ear, even if it's not real.
Yeah, I find you can always sort of tell though, at least so far, and I'm glad that you can tell, because I don't know, something about it is so anti-artistic, anti-art, or anti the whole process.
Yeah,
I'm really not into it. I don't believe I ever will use it.
No.
So we'll see. But I'd rather have, like, look at Aegeon, say, it's intentionally it's intentionally in that homage to the magazines of the era.
Yeah,
kind of. It has a homemade kind of feel, let's say, right? It's not perfect.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. But that's all very like intentional in a way. Like, so
I wouldn't ever suggest saying to an AI, okay, write me a story so I can publish it. I think even I wouldn't. I'd blanch at that. That's not to say you couldn't use one as a tool. Say, right, I've got this. These are my ideas. Give me ideas for what a story could be, and then you write the story. I wouldn't say that would be anything crossing any lines of, not being your story anymore.
Yeah.
Good tools.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be.
Okay, sorry, I got a message from somebody. And I wanted to. CP Webster came on. Hello, CP Webster, who writes for pretty much every issue since he first got on board. I might play just another segment from the MP3 you sent me. Just we'll do this every few minutes through the whole thing. Will we just?
Yeah, just fire it up.
Down into the stone steps.
Okay.
Oberst Richter, come to me at once. Muller called to the emerging crowd of soldiers.
Oh.
The Count of Mexico.
Oh, you've got them all mixed up.
That's the end of it. You've gone to the end of it. That's the end of that clip. You're now into the next story there. Okay, you've got to go back to the beginning, and that'll play from the beginning.
Okay.
So from the very start, you'll get.
And ranks, the largest Gythax had ever seen direct hits, and these genuinely slowed them.
Okay, so we heard most of that anyways. But anyways, that's the idea. I was hoping to get
the very start of the MP3 file is the Varkalak, the World War II one. And so if you just play it from like 0001, you'll get like the first minute of it.
Just do me a favor and just send me the entire Varkalak, and I just want to play something from the end of it, I think, and that'll do.
Yeah, we'll do.
That's a good way to do it. And evening, CP Webster. How you doing? Vingul. I feel like I'm cheating when fine-tuning and composing with generative process and samples. Using AI music sounds whack. Lol. Using AI for music sounds whack. Yes, it is cheating.
Can I play some MP3? Can I play my music?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm just sending you this.
Oh, your MP3. So I don't know. Maybe later. Let's stick to the book here for now.
All right. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to promote your stuff, no problem. Like, what? Where can they find it? On your Telegram channel or your YouTube channel?
I haven't started uploading my my content, any the AI music I'm using. Partly because it's going to be used for the game I'm making, Wings and Warlords. I'm making a game. That's the working title, and that'll be using MP3 AI music. Okay, there it is.
Here, play it more.
Muller cried, and they span around. Not lowering their stolen Wehrmacht Sturmgewehr, Muller fired his Luger into the temple of the first, and he fell onto the gun of his companion. so that it fired down into the stone steps. Oberst Richter.
Oh, that's just another clip from it. You don't have the whole MP3, no?
You're playing the. Hang on.
That wasn't the whole one. That ended right
Are you playing that MP3 from the start? Because it should have like an introduction with me saying excerpts from Varkalak.
No, I didn't. I didn't. That's why I was hoping to like it just get the whole Varkalak MP3, and I just wanted to play some bits from the end.
Oh, right. That doesn't that's on ACX because I haven't got the one with the SFX on it. It went off to ACX.
I have them here somewhere. Let me see. Hold on. But yeah, go on. You talk, and I'll see if I can find this.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. I was going to say, talk about the Varka. If you check your DMs, there's one called Varkalak MP3, and that should be like a minute's worth of excerpt of all the action scenes.
Okay, what's this one?
Okay, mate.
No, that's you talking.
Oh,
here it is.
The Varkalak.
Yeah.
Let out a lamenting howl of doom, then quickly flew into a rage and gripped the vampire's hanging machine gun and turned it on him, firing loudly into his stomach, which blew apart into so many pieces, covering the snow with gore. Before the beast could recover, he brought the stake in his other hand down, striking into the monster's heart, and the bloody face almost instantly surrendered its hunger and seemed overcome with relief, and the body which had been so ferocious moments earlier fell back feebly, dead and withered. I'm bitten, Oberfuhrer, Angermeyer said, holding his face. I know, son, Muller replied with a pitying look. By George, it looks like. He was a good soldier as well. But we will need you, right up to the last moment. He and Angermeyer turned and caught the crate containing the Varkalak as Richter and Theodore passed it to them out the window. It felt impossibly heavy, but they had no choice. The pews blocking the door were coming away behind them as Richter and Theodore jumped out the window, and all four of them took a handle on the crate and began trudging up the snow-covered outer stone steps of the tallest tower. Muller chanced to glance over the side into the snowy night. He felt he could see shapes out in the white gloom, men standing at a distance, observing them, but he wasn't sure. They struggled up the steps, slipping, dropping the crate, recovering, and soon the vampire were following behind them. Outside, the alarms were still blaring, and there was the sound of gunfire far off. He wasn't sure how long Angermeyer would have, but Muller kept his eye on him as they ascended. Twice they stopped, and Richter shot his Sturmgewehr into the advancing thwarted vampire, peppering them with bullets and blasting them back to gain time. Eventually, he ran out of ammunition and threw the Sturmgewehr at their heads and lobbed a grenade, which exploded over their heads, mangling the monsters and buying them even more time.
Now, did that sound okay? I hope it did.
That sounded pretty good. I mean, you must have been getting that from the main file because that was a good long run. That good long.
Yeah. Oh, we may as well play a decent clip, so everyone gets the idea. So that's the excellent drama and immersive world you can enter by buying our audiobook. Yeah. And hopefully we will do more of them. By George, yeah. By George, Vingle says. Yeah, it's actually by a guy named George. We probably should have pronounced it Georgi. How would a German say it? But yeah, by George. George bit him.
The German. I'm not the greatest German speaker, but I can do it okay.
He wanted that kind
I did my best with it. I did my best with it, German folks out there listening.
Oh yeah. He certainly did. Eventually, you won't be able to tell the difference, Mr. Fun. Between AI and real life. I don't know. So far, I can always tell. Oh, did you send me a private chat? Oh, there you go.
I just sent from the main. I just have to use from the main file. That for some reason my live chat's not updating on YouTube. I can't see the live chat as quickly as you can for some reason. Weird.
All right. Well, maybe it's my privilege as the master of the stream or whatever you call it.
Yeah, master of ceremonies there, Brendan.
that's what we're up to. So what else? What are the stories you had? What's another one I could find the whole clip from? Then play another like few seconds of this. I mean, they're all good. Some are more sound effects.
The Mexa Trigger next is pretty good, although it's sort of slowly. It's more of a slow boil to the climax.
What about? I remember there's lots of music. You know what actually sounds good?
Hmm.
In many parts, I thought was the one with we should show the voice acting of Marla in
Eyes in the Dark.
What's the name of that one with the werewolves?
Eyes in the Dark.
Eyes in the Dark. I'll do a quick search for that. Here, hold on. Think of something to say while I.
We're just intermission. Yeah, we're gonna
intermission. Yeah.
I don't want to go on a long diatribe because then it'll just like spoil the rest. But
don't give anything away. Am I even looking in the right? Oh yeah, that's ACX. This is you. Oh shit. Here it is. Okay, Eyes in the Dark. Hopefully this is.
Eyes in the dark over at the kitchen stall, seeing the cat at high speed, crushing its body with a wet thud against the limestone wall of the house.
I'm trying to find what's
his
the
rifle taking aim at a room with their.
That's the main action.
Instead, he messily poured a tumbler of bourbon and drank it quickly. The sight of the doe's panicked eye replayed itself over in his mind. Work shed. My gun, he thought. The low hum of the oven was interjected by the tapping sound of the leak. Tilting his head up from the glass, he looked over at the kitchen sink, confused to note that there was no water leaving the faucet. The tapping continued as Michael listened for the source. He followed it back out through the hallway, past the living room door, stopping by his daughter's room. Still, the sound of the tapping continued. Taking hold of the round door handle, he let himself in. A small
I'm trying to find a spot where she had some voice work.
Near the start and
near the start.
He looked up at the living room. Each step he made echoed from the bare wood, but this time no howl on through the nest, and he flung
It'd be hard to find it.
Long, sinewy arms hung by its sides, with talon-like black claws. With the last of its life, the doe kicked the gravel as the creature emerged fully from the woods. Giving into flight, Michael threw the heavy stone, which bounced harmlessly off the thing's chest, and he flung himself into a sprint back down the dirt road. What was that? You know what it was.
There she is.
His wife screeched out, "Eleanor!" He ascended the stairs, calling out for a second time, "Eleanor!" More frantic this time, he looked to the top of the stairs to see his wife standing there with her arms crossed and eyes scrunched with a sleeping mask wrapped around her forehead. When he ran to the top of the stairs, his legs weakened, doubling over with relief as a heavy sigh fell out of him.
Just what is your problem now?
His wife screeched.
That's real acting.
Breathing heavy, Michael eased.
At least we got it. We got a clip with her in there, anyways. Whatever. So that's that one. What genre? Someone says. Well, that's obviously horror. This is the horror Halloween special. So they're all horror.
I think he's asking me about my game, but whatever.
Oh shit! Sorry. Oh yeah.
That's not right. The game genre is basically going to be a roguelite adventure RPG. Without going off.
Is that what you mean by? I see you said Evil Dead vibes. Is that what you mean by your game, Evil Dead vibes?
No, I meant that story, Eyes in the Dark. I was just commenting about the story that you were playing. Right. I was just basically stream of consciousness out loud.
And someone says you don't need to hold the phone all the way up. It's okay. It's quite loud. So that was too loud. Okay. Well, thanks for telling me, Vingle. Anyways, I had it up for all that. But yeah, I liked the bit of act. I want to use her more because you were doing the woman's voice in that originally.
Yeah,
and that's fine. It is hard. It just sounds.
No, to be fair, the hardest voices were the girls' voices on Who Keeps Summoning, and that was driving me round the twist.
Oh shit! Yeah,
3 different female, pubescent aged voices. In American accents, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would drive you around the twist, as you say. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that is difficult. So whenever possible, I will get the female voice actors involved. I think.
Yeah, bring them in, man.
But yeah, I mean, especially Marla's very good at that kind of thing. But I couldn't find the bits where she's in it, but I like it. She does a good job.
4 minutes 50. If you want to hear her talking before it goes crazy, it's 4 minutes. 4 minutes 50. A timestamp on Eyes in the Dark. That's when you can hear her, because I just checked it while you were.
To the banister, the animal, seeing it was lying
Oh, shit.
many
Oh, wait.
large and low to the ground, a mere few feet away from where he stood.
I can't even look at this.
Quickly redirected the gun barrel, but the creature had already smashed, hurtling towards him and connecting where.
Said something about the battery being dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her voice hoarse from the last of their bouts earlier that evening. Remember, I don't want him behind the wheel if our daughter is going in that car. You know how he drives, Michael asserted.
let's not do this again, Michael.
You can tell she's an actor, Baywatch actor.
Mhm.
Until what? We're not staying here another night. It's a kip here in the woods, Michael. We're leaving tonight. My mother's agreed to take her for a while.
So I can watch my little Grace.
Okay, anyways, you got the idea. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's good fun. It's fun to make. It's fun to listen
It
to,
is.
I'm sure. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
The sound volume was good at the end. No big deal anyways. Oh, yeah, no problem. I can't tell. Like there should be a function on here just to play an MP3. I'm sure there is something like that. Or maybe it's one of these incredibly complex things that you need to be a tech whiz and involves just another third-party program.
Yeah, you can on Streamlabs, but you got to play the different channels. You got to have like one for your microphone, then you got to mute your microphone while you engage the MP3 channel, and you can't hear the MP3 channel playing. You've got to be on the stream listening to. Oh yeah, it goes right down the rabbit hole.
And what is Streamlabs? Is Streamlabs like a more advanced
It is slightly more advanced. It's not as dumbed down as StreamYard, but it is more there is a lot more functionality, and you don't have to pay for it. It's free.
You don't have to pay for it.
No, it's free. That's why I chose it.
Shit. Oh, then now
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to switch
think I
over to
told
that.
you you must have seen it. I did messages. That's why I
Oh
use
shit.
it.
Yeah. No, I will use that then, because StreamYard just upped their prices too. So like 50, 60 a month or some stupid thing. So I think I'm done with it.
That's
I'm not
insane.
gonna do that for this shit. I didn't even do one. I don't think I even did a stream last month.
Yeah.
I don't always do them. I just do them whenever.
I
So,
don't know how you add people to the stream on Streamlabs though. That's the only thing about it. I've never done that. I've always solo streamed on it.
Oh, I
So
see.
that's,
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
that's the nuance, I guess.
What's that story we have? What's let me see all the stories we have in this thing. Hold on. It's Eyes in the Dark. Let's show a few more samples. We won't be too long here. I think we've been about an hour already. But yeah, do you want to say anything else about the process or what we did? I mean, I don't know. That was just basically.
Oh yeah, I mean, talk a bit more about that. It's been one of the most challenging audiobooks for the scope. Well, the Biz Archives was challenging, no doubt about it. But because of the extra immersion, the music, the sound effects, fuck around with bloody ACX, Amazon knocking us back for this, that, and the other reason. Yeah, it's been a crusade. It's been a battle. It's been a battle to plug through it. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good to see it finally sitting there on the shelf. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was a lot of work to add the music and the sound. I can tell you that as well. And these massive files, gigabytes and gigabytes. When you get layers and layers of sound effects, like some of them had 20 layers.
Yeah, it reminded me of a song almost, with all the different instruments.
I'm trying to think of all the I can't even think right now of the of all the titles of the stories. I'm just trying to research more to maybe show another little clip, but. There's a lot of sound effects in that one. That's sort of a Frankenstein story that one guy did.
Oh yeah, that's Legacy.
Legacy, right?
Legacy with Connor LP. Yeah.
You what? Sorry.
Aster Soth, Prince of Dusk. That's not bad.
Oh, that one. Let's do that one. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do us, get us, you're an ACX plane via that. Yeah, get us to stop. Yeah, that's wild. That is nuts. That's what I like about Aegeon. You know, the good guy doesn't always win. There's not always a happy ending. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's not so tough. But you never quite know what the outcome is going to be.
Aster Soth.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a happy, the greatest, the happy.
no, not the greatest of endings. Not an absolute defeat like some. I think there's a few stories where it's an absolute. Oh my god! But yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I can't fucking find it. Aster Soth. If you have it there, can you send me
Are you
just the whole?
using, are you using the ACX production?
No, I'm playing the MP3s as I would have sent them to you over stream, over on Telegram.
Oh right, if you go into the ACX, you should be able to see it on the production screen.
I know, but I don't. I've never logged in there on my phone.
Oh, fair enough.
And it sounds like a hassle, and I get confused, and so.
I could play it on mine, but I don't think it's very clear on my tinny little speakers.
Just hold on, Aster Soth. Why is it not coming up in the search of Telegram? That's funny. Aster, yeah, that's it. Aster Soth, isn't it? You think I know? I wrote the damn thing. Aster Soth.
I could try recording it, but it's going to take me about 2 minutes to get.
Dusk. I look up the word dusk. There's no way I use the word dusk in a regular conversation ever. I don't know why it's not appearing. Son of a bitch. I could log into ACX. I wouldn't mind. I do want to play this now that we mentioned it. Like, can you find it in the Telegram? Just one of the latest. It's fine just to play a clip from those ones our working files.
Give me a second.
Thanks. And send it to me. I'll do that. But yeah, that was it. It was a lot of work, and we did it. Another thing done. And now I'm doing a lot of work again on this comic. It's totally consuming. So that's my whole thing with the comic was bringing that up. Is that's why the next Aegeon is delayed, and we might even hop into working on the next audiobook. But everything's going to be delayed pretty much until I finish the comic now, I think. So I'll be at least 2 months doing that. Also, a magazine idea, Pagan Space Imperialism. That's about halfway done. And another nonfiction book on religion that I'm doing. And that's about almost halfway done. Everything takes time. But yes, you should get the audiobook. You should buy the audio. Even if you bought the book, this has whole new thrills for you. All new level of excitement. And yeah, there's not much out there like it. Who else is doing old-timey radio shows of their books with high drama like that, you know? Where else can you get those kind of kicks?
This is it. You know, it's. But put it this way: every single short story in all of the Aegeons, I don't think I've skipped one of them. Not one of them. I've always read them to the end, even the ones that maybe I'm not as impressed with. But most of them I am. You know, I can't really say there's any terrible ones on there.
There's always going to be bad ones. Like even like the whole when I was researching for it, and I bought a whole bunch of old analog, which I remember being as excellent. Yeah, and that's what Dune and like classic science fiction things were originally published in, and they had a lot of like really. You had to sit through a lot of really shite ones even then in the classic era. It was just like I thought, anyways. Some of them were surprisingly bad.
I'll say this: your Dream God series is really good, and the world building and lore is great. But I think because that'd be better as a novella or full size book series, it's a bit harder to immerse into it because it's short, you know. And then it's over, and then the next short story begins. But
right, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, the idea is to get it out. I'm getting it out in installments, but then I will put it all together as a book.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me. Do you ever read the Wilbur Smith books with the Courtney family in it? It reminds me a bit like a neo-Roman version of that.
No, I've never even heard of him.
Wilbur Smith. He did some good epic, rip-roaring, body-stripping adventure books.
Body-stripping.
Back in the day. Well, a bit of that. Yeah, it's quite raunchy. Some of his stuff is quite raunchy. I remember getting the book Monsoon hardback edition as a teenager. By my dad bought it me, and he made a good choice because that thing is absolutely sizzling. It's like it's set during the days of the East India Company, and he's like a privateer, does some privateer work, and it's really good. I think
So
some of
it-
Wilbur Smith's books are a little bit iffy, but the Monsoon and some of his other period books are really good.
So my writing style reminds you of that, or the like the way the adventure plays
The
out?
writing style doesn't quite remind me of him because, well, Wilbur Smith is a wordsmith, so his books are really long and there's a lot of prose and exposition. But the scope of it, the world building of it, of the family,
Mhm.
traveling to try and get their birthright or their new world. There is something of that in some of Wilbur Smith's books. In that case, the family goes to South Africa to build a new world there. In the
The Angel of Death,
1700s.
actually, I found that actually sounds pretty good in a lot of parts, doesn't it? It has a weird kind of.
Oh yeah,
Let me see if I
the,
can
the,
find
the
it.
end
That has some
when,
good-
when yeah the end sequence, the climax sequence. Yeah.
Meters in diameter, but Will wasn't the greatest of a practical purpose. When he reached their flagship, the Wellers had already scrambled drones and fighters. He picked them off one by one, dancing between death beams and mass driver slugs from the capital ship. With all the smaller craft turned to space dust, he felt his time was coming to an end. He brought his attention back towards the flagship. It was already burning hard, away from the asteroid, but to him it may as well have been standing still. He matched its burn rate, bathing in the ionized gases ejected by its massive engines. He imagined the people inside, straining and gasping in their acceleration seats, hoping to escape the angel of death he had become. He wanted to go out with a bang, and the goo approved. Another 1,000 or so Weller men, women, and children would make fine offerings for the gruesome alien god. He accelerated and lodged his black, diamond-hard body deep inside the bowels of the capital ship. He felt his control over the goo slip, as it was now eager to return to whatever chaos dimension it came from. What precious little was left of him would be going with it. He gathered all the anger and rage he had left and exploded. He felt his body being torn apart and darkness enveloped him, but oblivion wouldn't come. He knew he'd never walk the lush plains of Nav, though.
So yeah, and I think I found Astro. So let's play a little clip of that, and then here we go. What part is best of that one? Astro song.
Into near simian subhumans, she stood proud and beautiful before Gwytherin. Her blonde hair thrust back defiantly, her young breasts heaving, and her blue eyes full of fire. Truly we are blessed. Truly Astos is pleased to have such an offering as this. She spat on the ground and lunged at him, but the brutes pulled her neck chain and laid her out on the cold, lichen-covered stone of the altar, tightening the neck chain as they wrapped it around an iron pole, adorned with a ram's skull. Druid Colfax paced the area about her with a large copper incense box, mouthing incantations as the sweet smoke filled the air. The beautiful girl breathed deeply, retaining her calm as best she could. Druid Colfax and Druid Elmwen cut the throat of a chicken and doused its blood over her neck and belly, as MarlaKMurder loudly now mouthed the ancient incantations in the old tongue. The monks which surrounded the stone circle all joined in, slowly chanting, swaying back and forth, until it culminated in the god's name, which they repeated eerily. Astasov, Astasov, Astasov. The girl couldn't help but let a tear slip down her cheek, though she kept a countenance of fury. Chicken blood spattered across her face. She turned her head to Druid MarlaKMurder and shrieked over their singing. MarlaKMurder, Horned One, Master of the Stock, His hands were mighty again. His antlered head balls freed arrows into the crowd.
Oh yeah, we must get the scenes with the arrows.
To reveal a blonde-haired warrior, nearly naked, save for a bow. Hail, find! He called to the girl, and she opened her eyes. Agon, brother! She called, her voice cracking with hope. Agon began raining a hail of arrows into the crowd, lodging them into the eyes, mouths, shoulders,
I love that sound effect.
of the hapless, panicked druids. Only brother MarlaKMurder stood unmoved, unflinching, and across from him, brother Brochvale stared back at him darkly. It's too late, Brochvale. MarlaKMurder said,
Your acting is very good there.
sardonically.
Oh, thank you.
Your voice.
It is the very blood required to welcome Astasov. Astasov, the soul.
Wasn't sure on which voice to use actually for the monks and the hero.
Anyways, that's probably long enough. But yeah, that's the idea. A lot of good stuff. You have to admit. Who wouldn't like that? What kind of loser wouldn't like that?
Well,
so that's what we've been at, and that's what we're promoting. And you know, what else do you want to say about it? I guess there it is. The links are there.
Radio show. That's where it started. Radio shows. So it started. Flash Gordon. You know, it was a radio show originally before it even got to the silver screen. So that's where the
it's good. It's good because it forces you to imagine. You imagine everything then yourself. You know, you're using your own brain.
It's a theater of the mind. It's cliche, but it's a theater of the mind, especially when it's radio show style, more so than just a plain audiobook with nothing in the background. You know. So.
Yeah. And you can listen to it in your car when you're going to work or when you're working, whatever.
The amount of people that tell me they want to listen to audiobooks for the long, dreary commute and even at work when they're just plodding through the day is a lot.
Yeah. So this is what we've done and what we're going to do more of. And I think I better pack it up because I'm probably going to get kicked out of here pretty quick.
Stay for a few more hours. We'll do a 24-hour stream. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. But anyways, what do you any links or things you want to talk about?
Yeah, sure. If you can find me on Twitter at Retro Futureland, all one word on Twitter, and it's the same channel name on YouTube. That's where my updates will be. That's where my promotions will be. I'm going to try and do some promotions for this, just bits and pieces that I wouldn't mind putting out there. Maybe using some music and images, just putting it out there for the Aegeon, get people interested in it if I can get any on. I mean, I've got 5,000 subscribers, but that doesn't really translate to many views. But I'll do what I can. But yeah, come and follow me on there and let me know what you think. And yeah, that's where I can be found. And if you want to financially support me, there's a link to Ko-fi on the Twitter. I forget which one it is, but there's a link to Ko-fi on the Twitter if you want to buy me a coffee or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Yes, he's very good. Voice talents, as you can hear by his smooth intonations. He's just, he's a gentleman of the scepter dial.
Yes.
You'll be hearing more from
Irish. I am part Irish. So there was that.
Well, that's the Emerald Isle. The scepter, isn't that what they call England? The scepter dial?
Is it the scepter dial? You don't hear it said that much, but yeah, Albion, scepter dial, Blighty, and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
He's a child of Cromwell.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I'm not that. Well, I am Anglo, but Anglo-Irish is supposed to be the specific term.
Yeah, me too.
There you go.
But yeah, so there we showed some clips. So like that's all we can do. Yeah, you guys, there you go. Like it should be an entertaining thing for you.
I wouldn't mind making a few video games based on some of the Aegeon stories, to be honest. And I know that you've got one made right now, or getting made.
Well, it's being made, yeah.
Yeah. That is a real old school side scroller. It's hard, but it's
by the same guy who wrote that Angel of Death story that was due. He also wrote that.
Michael. I can't state enough how helpful Michael's been helping me in game development. By the way, he got me through some major obstacles. Oh yeah, literally streaming and audio and coaching me through some of it because it's another world game development, as I'm sure you know from fiddling with.
Yeah, he's always helping me out too. Yeah, he's a very helpful guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a helpful chap. Very helpful guy. Yeah. and he knows a lot about stuff. Just a good technical guy to know for anything, and he's a good illustrator, and he can write. He can write well. And games, he's obsessive. He's very much a technical guy, though. That's so.
He downplays it as well. He says, "Oh yeah, anybody, you can do this art. You can do it. You know, it's no problem." I'm like, Michael, you are next level. I am not up to your grade. I'm having to build it in 3D and bloody trace it. You know, for some of my stuff. But
he's actually making an ad for me right now for issue 10, a long overdue, very late ad, and actually it's using the voice talents of Marla. She's read out a bit of a script, and so he's doing a little 3D. He's got a 3D version of the issue 10, and it opens and leaps to the pages, and then you zoom into the pages, and you go into like an asteroid field with the logo. Or theoretically, this is what it'll be when it's all said and done.
Oh, wow.
So of course he's of course obsessively going into the tiny details of that, doing it all just perfectly technically, and it's great. But it's like
you've got that other chap as well. He does some good stories. Defective model story. Frank Sawiliju, or Sawiliju, however you pronounce it.
Frank Sawiliju.
Yeah, I don't think.
Sawiliju. You pronounce it Sawiliju.
I think he's Hungarian, isn't he? That's where his name's quite different.
No, he has Russian origins, but his family's been in Germany for a long time.
Ah, right, okay. Is he going to be doing any artwork for you, or is he just sort of like doing
artwork?
Other things?
No, he was doing some kind of game development as well, though.
All right.
Before I haven't heard him talk about that for a while, but he writes mostly. He's been working on his own novel, and he's got a story in more issues than he doesn't, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how many, but yeah. So he writes, and I don't know about he doesn't draw though. I don't think I know, because he usually hires illustrators. I know that for his other stuff. Yeah, as I am not doing. I think I've hired enough for the comic thing, which is interesting. But I've got a very unique, and maybe not what you would expect in some ways, pretty awesome list of guys that I've known. Yeah, be good. It should be very good. So that's the next big thing that I have to finish is that. Yeah. So I've talked about myself. So anything else you're doing?
How long do you think it'll be before it's finished, your comic?
Graphic novel? Well, I know at least one guy cannot start until basically February. Jeez. So I would say, but he says he can do it in 3 weeks.
Wow, that's good.
So we're looking, yeah. So if everything else is done by then, end of February, I would say, which isn't that far. It's like,
yeah, it's not far. We could probably get another audiobook started in the meantime, you know.
Yeah, we probably could. Yeah, actually, as long as I get my part done of the comic, and I'm just waiting for artwork from them. Yeah. Yes. I can. Yeah, and that's entirely possible. Yes.
Oh, someone's just asked you about Millennial.
Are you going to Millennial? Would be a good place to advertise. Yeah, I'm going on some other joint thing with He's got some Canadian theme thing or something. So it's me and some other guys. But yeah, I'll plug everything on there. Yeah, for sure.
I wish Colin would do more content. I've said to him in the past, I said, Colin, I said, I need to do more content. Don't just do Millennial. You know, you need to keep it going. But he's just, I don't know. I guess his heart's only in it for this short burst of creation content he wants to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, why is that? I don't know. He kind of switched over to writing. He's really keen on the Substack writing, I think. And
right, I didn't know he was into writing as per se. I thought he was.
Yeah, I think so. He's a great guy, and he's got lots of good ideas. Yeah, he should make more videos. It would be great to see him out there.
He puts himself down saying, "Oh, I just don't want to do like reaction videos." I'm like, Colin, you've got the following. Doesn't matter what reaction video, we'll listen to you because you're quite, easy on the air, and it's like, almost like fireside radio chat. But he's just like hasn't got the heart for it, I guess, or something. But
I just recently was asking him to come back on my streams too, and I always like that. But it's hard to get him on. And like he agrees to it once in a while. But I think my kind of style, my rambling style doesn't suit him. I think it throws him off. It's like, well, pick a topic, then I'll start like rambling into various directions all over the place. I don't know that he loves that. He likes to stick to a point and like see it through. I mean, he enjoys it. We have fun. I know, like he'll tell me like, this is like unusual. Talking to you is unusual.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is. Like,
stream of consciousness and go with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, maybe too much. I need to be forced to. And at least in this case, maybe we rambled about a few things, movies and things.
Well, some places will be like, right, okay, these are the questions. These are all the questions, and I might throw a hard ball in or a soft ball in. Just be ready for that. And I'm like, okay. And then it's like, yeah, whatever. We'll just go with the flow. Go from the hip. A few notes.
Yeah. I don't know. No, we did a good job. Mostly, main thing was really to show the clips and show what it is. I think, which we
Yeah.
could. I should have been better prepared to do, but we figured it out in the end. We got it going. So
Yeah,
that's it. And that's
Aegeon for me is like Roger Corman movies, not in a good way. I mean, in a good way. Roger Corman's go just from the hip, get it out there, and making good use of the budget. You know, it's,
yeah, exactly.
It's got the spirit. It's got the spirit of it. I wouldn't say the light Corman movies, but it's got the spirit and the, the audacity, in a sense.
Yeah,
definitely the audacity.
Yeah, and it, like say the comic thing actually will be because there's a budget ahead of time too. It'll be a little bit. I mean, in the spirit of it, it is still the same roguish piratical thing, obviously, because the theme being to press the extremes of sex and gore, and that is the core theme of it.
Yeah,
so I don't know, but like the quality of the art will be good, and that's a big thing for comics. So I'm excited about it. Anyways. But let's not digress once more. So we're audiobook. Buy the audiobook.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. You'll like it. October says nothing wrong with Corman. Yeah, I mean he's a bit shit, but yeah, he had some good ones. I had good ideas, and like I would compare myself maybe to somebody else who's a good
Russ Meyer
movie. Yeah, or there's other ones like oh shit, I can't think right now. I wouldn't say like not as bad as who's the guy who did Leonard Glenda?
I don't know.
Remember him, that guy? Yeah, have you not seen that? Oh shit,
no,
you gotta see that guy. Oh fuck!
You know what? You know what'd be crazy? Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, but like Aegeon style. That'd be probably absolutely break the seams of the foundation. But that would be something else, next level.
Yeah, like what do you think? I've tried to keep Aegeon so it would be sort of friendly for. I know there's the odd sort of tits in it and stuff. Yeah, like I actually don't. I don't really love swearing, and I've sort of kept it kind of like at least friendly for teenagers in a sort of way.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. Like I think that's been a good idea, and that's why this comic is definitely more adult.
Yeah, I think usually in the right margin zone. I mean, you could go a bit more, you could go a bit less, but you could probably go slightly more, but I wouldn't go any more than slightly. In the audio or in the novel scene, there's like a scale, and it's like number 1 is a kiss on the cheek. Number 5 is full-blown love-making scene with the doors open, and then there's like numbers 3 and 4 is like the doors start to close. So it's whatever number you want to be daring enough to go to or risk. But yeah, it's I think it depends on how long the scene is as well, I suppose. Yeah.
AJ says, "Man with the X-Ray Eyes" is a great movie, and that reminds me, AJ, your book, AJ, and sorry, my brain is not working.
R.A. Davis?
No. Sorry.
Connor L.K.
He's listening right now because he commented earlier. I feel like a jerk, but his name totally flew out of my head.
James Bratton.
No. Oh god, I interviewed him too. Oh, what's his name? C something. Oh, it's totally escaped me. CK. He writes for Bizarre Archives too.
Oh, CK Davis? Is it?
No. Hold on. He commented in here. Let me find his name. If you're there, say something. I feel terrible. Shit. What is his damn name? Why is it gone out of my head? Oh, anyways, AJ and him have books they sent me that I'm going to release on their own.
Yeah.
And I actually promised them as soon as I was done with the audiobook, I'd get those out the door as soon as possible. And I've definitely put them together, and they're pretty much ready to go. So I should not lose sight of those while I'm doing this comic. So AJ, remind me. Webster. That's right. Thank you, AJ. CP Webster. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. My brain went somewhere else for a bit there. Yeah, so that's good. Both of them have books I'm going to put out on just as Aureus Press books. And I have to do that because they have given me these books a long time ago. And it has to happen. So I must make sure that is done along with everything else. But at least this is out of the way, because this thing kept coming back on top of being so busy with so many other things. It'd be like, oh, the audiobook still isn't going through. Oh, there's some other hassle. They won't let it through. You have to do this. You have to do that. Like that was a real odyssey there towards the end, wasn't it? I mean, I felt like CP Webster. CP Webster himself says CP Webster. Yeah, sorry, buddy.
I thought at one point near the end, just before we got it through, I thought you were going to say, Wayne, I'm done. I'm done. I'm sick of this.
I thought you were going to say that. I thought
I
you
was
were
close
actually
to it. I thought, no, hold off. We just got to keep pushing him. Just keep hammering him. They'll give way in the end. We're going to have one final push. Seriously.
Oh, they were hassling.
I will be serious now. I think they were starting to just invent excuses and contrived reasons because they just didn't like the book. They didn't like the content. It was just too hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we resubmitted and just boom, it was done. We had somebody else. Yeah. Obviously, it was so obvious.
Someone else was on duty that day for sure.
Oh shit. Yeah. So, anyways, there you go. We work hard to bring you these things, these little funny things.
Labor of love, no doubt about it. Labor of love.
Yeah. Labor of love. But anyways, I definitely have to go. So there you go, kiddies. And yes, you can look forward to books by C.P. Webster and A.J. Bell, novels that I will publish. I won't say when. They need covers done and all that. I haven't done the covers, that's for sure. And that's a bit of a challenge.
I'll need to submit a story to you as well under Wayne Seymour because
for issue 11.
Yeah. I've got half of it done, but I want to finish it off before it's
like people are already asking me, where's issue 11? What's going on with that? And I'm like, oh shit, wow, what is going on with that? Yeah. But yeah, that will have to come out too.
Yeah.
It all needs to be done. If I get more benefactors, like my one comic benefactor, I can just refocus energy on all these things and do nothing but that. Wouldn't that be nice?
Brendan, why didn't you get a Patreon?
I do have a Patreon.
Do you? I don't see links.
See, nobody knows about these things. I don't really advertise.
Brendan, you don't put links up, bro. Your links are limited.
There's a link to it on my Twitter. Well, the Twitter's
on your Twitter, but you need to fire those links onto your descriptions for each time you live stream, brother.
I should, yeah. I will.
Seriously.
I'll add it to this one, or I'll add it in the comments or something. But I mean, no one's gonna. I mean, if you do, if you got money, you can join my Patreon. You can help pay me. I have 3 patrons because there's one. I think I get 100 and something out of it a month or something, which is better than nothing. But
that's damn good. I wish I was getting 100 a month. Goodness me.
Well, I mean, it could be better. Like, if it paid me even 500 a month regular. Yeah, that would be like, okay, well, that's something you can rely on, that you can definitely
you can start taking some paid submissions, give me a flat rate.
Like I wouldn't be able to pay these artists for this comic if I didn't have this benefactor guy, that's for sure. I would not be able to pay these guys.
Lifeline.
It's actually quite a bit. It's like, a reasonable normal comic price. You got to pay like 200 per page to these guys. And comics got to have it.
How many pages if you don't mind me asking? Will it be like 40 or 50?
For this, something like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So C.P. Webster, thanks. And yes, he says, "You're great work, gentlemen. You're a credit to us." Well, thank you very much. So are you with your excellent story.
Thank you, CP.
Yeah. And you need to chill it more, Mr. Montefontaine. Yeah, I suppose. What am I supposed to do? I hate chilling in the first place.
Yeah, it doesn't come natural to me.
Share the link now and then. Join my Patreon. I guess I should. Yeah, I don't know. Make some more. I don't know where to put it. It's at the top of my Twitter.
Twitter.
Off of my Telegram, probably, but
multi-stream.
I was for a while that you can make posts from Patreon, and I remember doing that a couple times, but it felt pretty gay. It was kind of like, pay me to read the rest of my post, and it was just like,
the different tiers.
All I want to do is draw and write stories. Really, right? You know what I mean? Like, I like working on the games and music. I like to do the music as well. I like doing this. I like shit posting, complaining about the modern world in between, like doing art stuff. So I like to write and I like to draw and anything. So I've never been good at advertising. I need help with that, basically, I guess.
I know some people have funny views about Twitter even now, but I think Twitter's probably one of the last areas of bringing people into whatever the stories we're doing are and things like this. That's fairly fertile ground, because I think it's quite we live in shadow banned times, people, as we all know.
Yeah, in terms of art stuff, Instagram seems to be where you find the most artists and portfolios and things like that. Anybody who's trying to be in the mainstreamish way, shilling their art, you find them there quite a bit. Writers, I guess a lot of them go to Substack.
Yeah,
which is fine. I make some Substack stuff. I have one, and I post it now and then. Post to it now and then.
Do you not need a following first to go into Substack to get people interested, or do you just get randos just coming through randomly recommended content? stuff?
No, I didn't. You can start one. You don't need subscribers to start. You can just start one. Yeah.
No, but
And,
what I mean is the traffic. What's the traffic like for just random people?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't have that many. I think I have 500 odd followers.
That's okay.
Yeah, just from and I don't know how many things I've posted, but just like a few of them. Yeah, the best way to use it is, and I was thinking about it, especially now that I'm getting more into comics, and I see some people do it. I'm not sure if Substack is the best format for that. Is that if you want to get a paid subscriber thing or there's this other thing someone was telling me about. This is great for artists who are writing short stories as well. And what's it called? What did he say it was called? I don't remember the name of it. But you post your shorts, you post your stories in installments, like serials, like Aegeon does. But you post them one by one, and you get a following, and people pay to follow your story, which you can then eventually publish in a full book. And I saw people doing that on Substack. I saw one guy in particular, this really good Japanese cartoonist. I actually contacted him about the comic, but he didn't get back to me. I don't know if he saw it or not, but he publishes his comics in, he just, I don't know, once a month or once every couple of weeks, and you just have to subscribe and pay. Some of them are up for free, and then you subscribe and pay to see it as an ongoing thing. So that kind of regular routine installment stuff is how you milk a living out of those things. Being regular and something that proceeds after the other. So people are like, oh, what's next? What's going to happen next? And so that's possible on those sites. So you have to think about it and do it properly. Buddy PNG31, long time no see. Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
I haven't seen the name, but okay, welcome.
I don't remember the name. Who are you? Pardon me if I mean, are you just saying because I didn't make a video for a while? Yeah, I didn't make a video for it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long, a month or two.
Yeah, you need to schedule more stream. I do think the even on YouTube, the more you stream, the more you start to gain followers and gain traffic.
I just got so busy. Honestly, I just have been too busy to even. I just thought it's too much. I did schedule a couple and even canceled them because it was too much going on. But maybe now I can and should again try to do one every Friday. So
I used to stream a lot, but the YouTube started giving me strikes because they didn't like me streaming live music, even though other channels do it and don't get a problem. But
oh, I got demonetized permanently for a video about Uncle Ted Kaczynski.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Yeah. They just
They
decided
demonetized me because of bullshittery reasons. Said, "Oh, you've got enough subscribers, but you haven't got enough watch hours on your videos." So it's one of them. Okay.
They demonetize you for that?
Yeah, it says if you've got less than, I think it's 500 or 5,000 hours viewed over the course of a year, you're not eligible for monetization. And even though I was monetized before, they just retroactively said, "Oh, well, you're not eligible now under these new guidelines." No monetization for me. No, that was about.
And you have no political content on there at all, or did you?
I used to have.
Oh, you did?
I used to have. But it was more shit posting and basically posting reaction videos. We're going long way back. We're going back into the wild YouTube era here. But yeah, that was a long time ago.
You get used to saying you're speaking your mind and being able to talk like everybody on the internet used to talk, say in 2016 on Telegram and Twitter, and then you re-enter the worlds of Facebook and YouTube.
Oh yeah,
and you forget yourself, and you're like, oh wait, I'm back in normal land where you can't even say it. It's so silly. Yeah, censorship. Fuck. But yeah,
but anyways. I think with YouTube, it's just the algorithm does start to. I have seen somebody go from being shadow banned and almost no views to getting good views again, but that took years for it to sort of wear off in a sense. And I'm not saying this works all the time, but for him it did. And so I think the more you put out, the more it starts to grow, the algorithm. So I wouldn't say
that happened. That happened to me on Facebook. Actually, I got really badly shadow banned, and for like years, probably 4 years, and so I really just lost interest in it. I never regained interest, but I always went back every now and again and made a post, and just it's still there, still has 130 followers. So you just feel like, oh well, it's some kind of promo.
Yeah,
right? It's still sitting there, right?
Yeah, it's something.
And then it came back for a while, and now it's a little bit. It's not as bad as it was, but it's kind of shadow banned again.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like but like any kind of thing like this, like I posted this link to this stream on there. Anytime I post a stream, they must have the same thing as Twitter, where they kill the reach if it's an outside link or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
you have to be sneaky and put the link in the...
YouTube's owned by Google, so someone was saying, "Oh, maybe Elon should buy YouTube." Well, the problem is Google wouldn't let it go because it's part of the Google octopus. So, it's part of that main bulk. So, it's kind of the ground zero in a way for that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm definitely gonna go. I gotta put some kids to bed and get organized here. So,
all right, great talking with you, and I hope to be on again sometime.
Oh, you will, and whenever you want, and certainly whenever we get the next one done, we will do another one.
Wonderful.
Soon.
Okay, excellent. I'll see you folks soon. Take care and check out our links and our content, I guess. Bye-bye. Yeah,
it's all in the description. So go buy that audiobook and tell your friends if they want a nice little scary, dramatic, old-timey stories and sound and immersive audio worlds. Then we've got their ticket. Now, goodbye, everybody. Bye for now. I'll try to be back next Friday.